can't explain that. Oh my gosh, everything was so perfect. Okay, I feel like I should have taken notes, but you guys are just gonna get my raw, unhinged thoughts, okay? So, this book is not like other books. It's not like other romances, okay? This is also like a 500-page book. Megan, what are you getting me into? So, if you hear chirping, it's not me, it's the birds. Yeah, I hope your current read is going better than mine. How are they talking to each other over the rumble of motorcycles, too? Of course it's Cross chasing her on the motorcycle. Like, he's the pursuer, naturally. Stay away. Go find something better. I don't know what would be for you, but you can do better than this book. You 100% can, and you should do better than this book. Hello book besties, welcome to my channel, and let's do some reading. So I thought it would not only be fun to read some books with you guys, but kind of theme this reading vlog around whether or not I would recommend you guys the books that I'm reading. Because I love doing book recommendations and I feel like it's a fun way to theme a reading vlog. So that is the current plan. I don't know what books I'm going to be reading in this vlog entirely, so I will list them down below. But I do know what I'm starting with, and that is Legends and Lattes. So for whatever reason, this clip decided to switch to slow-mo halfway through filming. Really not sure how that happened, but I am just going to do a voiceover, I guess. So I believe what I was about to say here was that I had just started Legends and Lattes and I had gotten a little bit into it, and I just wanted to give a quick synopsis to those who don't really know what it's about. So this book follows Viv, who is a retired bounty hunter. This world is very D&D-esque, and she basically had a D&D party going, and they had finished up a campaign, and she decided to take her winnings from this campaign and go to a new city and start a coffee shop. She had discovered coffee from a small gnomish town, I believe, and it's not really something that is well known. So starting a new business is already a risk, but starting a business surrounding something that nobody really knows about is definitely a risk. But she does well and finds new friends and find new recipes like iced lattes and cinnamon rolls to sell to her now loyal customers, and it is so cozy and cute. It also has a little hint of a sapphic romance, which of course is just so appreciated and perfect. This book really is just so cozy, and I believe by this point in the clip I had already started it, and I think what I was trying to tell you guys was that I was enjoying my time with the coziness and the D&D vibes, and Viv is just such a likable main character, and it's just funny because she's like a barbarian orc, but she just seems so nice and gentle, and it's just such a fun time. So at this point in the video, I'm enjoying the book so far, so let's go see my future thoughts. Good morning. It is the next day and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. I didn't feel like it last night, so we're doing it now. I got to 40% in Legends and Lattes last night. I was hoping to get a little bit more. I really wanted to get to 50%, but I had to spend time editing my latest vlog, so I didn't get as much reading time in, unfortunately, but that's okay because I'm hoping I can get to about, I don't know, what do we think? 75% today? Finish it tomorrow? That's asking for a lot, and I realized that. So I wanted to give you guys an update. It's been such a cool book because we really get to see Viv throughout the process of opening this coffee shop. So we saw her kind of like leave her party behind, and then we saw her come to this town and start to ask around. We saw her buy the place, find Cal to help her fix it up, get everything in, hire her first employee, and open. And now we're getting to see her serve her first customers, figure out what to do, and hire a baker. That's what happened last night. She finally found her baker for the place, and I love him so much. So he's called a ratkin, which is basically like a rat's kin. Like he's like a walking, talking rat. And his name is Thimble, which is even more perfect. And he doesn't really talk much, like he's super quiet. He typically only says like a couple of words at a time, but he's like finally starting to talk to Viv and Tandri. But it's so cute because, so like Viv asks him, she's like, you always come in with like flour on your clothes, like, are you a baker? And he's like, and he gets like super excited, and she hires him, or at least like offers to test out his food, and he brings in cinnamon rolls, which aren't really well known. Like they like describe it as like rolls with cinnamon, and it's really funny. And Viv and Tandri love him, so they hire him on, and then it's just really cute watching him like start to figure out his place there and just go around with Viv to like buy a whole bunch of things. And that was just like really cute and wholesome. I am looking forward to reading more of it. Oh yeah, and they have a dire cat now, which is basically just a huge cat, and it's adorable. So this book is already just so wholesome and cozy, and I'm looking forward to reading some more today. So that's my update for right now, and I don't know where I'll be when I update you guys next, but we'll see. So I finished Legends and Lattes last night, and I was too sleepy to do an update, so we're doing my update now. I ended up rating this book a solid 3.5 stars. I thought it was really good, and I definitely would recommend it to people, especially if you are looking for a cozy fantasy. I think a lot of people have problem with cozy fantasy because they're like, nothing happens. I don't care about that, okay? Nothing needs to happen as long as I love the characters. And I did like these characters. However, I do think this book could have used a lot more depth. Like, I don't care that it's a low stakes fantasy. I love that. However, I wanted to feel more for the characters, especially the romance. If you're looking for a cozy fantasy sapphic romance, I don't think this book is for you. This book barely focused on the romance, and it felt more like a friendship than a romance in the end anyways. So if you're looking for that, I wouldn't go into this book expecting that. But if you just want a cute, low-stakes, cozy fantasy that basically has the themes of life isn't what you've accomplished, but it's the friends you meet along the way, then this book definitely is for you. I just really wanted a lot more depth to the characters than we got, but I still definitely recommend this book. I think there's a reason it's so popular right now, and if you like D&D, I definitely recommend this book. I think it feels very D&D-esque, especially the bonus chapter that we got, because it shows Viv with her party that she was with before Legends and Lattes really started, and you can feel the D&D party within that grouping, and that was really entertaining. So I would recommend this book. I don't know what else to say, so we're gonna move on, and next I'm going to be reading The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. This is the bookmark I'm gonna use. It's from Gigi and Bo, the best bookmark store ever. This is Casey McQuiston's newest release. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I love Red, White, Royal Blue with my entire being. I literally have 4 copies of it. I'm so excited, and I love the edges. It says some things taste better together. Luna just walked by. And like it has like the Eiffel Tower and things, and like, it's so cute. I'm gonna read you the back, and then we can dive into reading this. I'm so excited. Okay. Theo and Kit, such cool names. I love those names. Theo and Kit have been a lot of things. Childhood best friends, crushes, lovers, and now estranged exes. After a brutal breakup on a flight to their dream European food and wine tour, they exited each other's lives. Time apart has done them good. Theo is a bartender and an aspiring sommelier with a long roster of lovers. Kit graduated as the reigning sex god of his pastry school and now bakes at one of the finest restaurants in Paris. All that remains is the unused voucher for the European tour that never happened. 4 years later, it seems like a great idea to finally take the trip. Solo. Separately. It's not until Theo and Kit board the tour bus that they discover they've both accidentally had the exact same idea, and now they're trapped with each other for 3 weeks of the most romantic sights and sensuous flavors of France, Spain, and Italy. But it'll be fine, as long as they agree they're absolutely over each other. So when Theo suggests a friendly wager to see who can sleep with their hot Italian tour guide first, Kit is game. In fact, why stop there? Why not a full-on European hookup competition? But sometimes a taste of everything only makes you crave what you can't have. This book seems so unhinged. A hookup competition across Europe? I have heard that this is Casey's like spiciest book yet, so this is gonna be interesting. Very much different from Legends and Lattes. But I can't wait to read this. I have heard mixed reviews, so I can't wait to read this and let you guys know if you should read it. So let's get started. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be fun. I haven't updated you guys like at all on my experience of reading The Pairing, which I hate, but like I started reading it on Friday and then I went to my parents for the weekend and we were super busy. So it makes sense that I couldn't update you guys, but it hurts me because I loved this book so much. I can't. I literally can't. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to begin because like oh my gosh. Casey McQuiston, the writer that you are, it's just impeccable. And I've never read a Casey McQuiston book that I didn't rate 5 stars because yes, this was such a 5-star read for me. This was a 5-star from the beginning. Within the first 12 pages, I was hooked and didn't want to put it down. I was reading every chance that I could because, oh my gosh, I loved this book so much. I was loving this book so much that I was getting dizzy while reading it. Like, I'm not kidding. I would look up from my book and I felt dizzy. And I can't explain that. Oh my gosh, everything was so perfect. Okay, I feel like I should have taken notes, but you guys are just gonna get my raw, unhinged thoughts, okay? So, oh my gosh, where to begin? Let's start with the characters, okay? The characters were perfect. I don't think I've ever really read a romance with a non-binary character, and I think Casey did this so well. I knew that going into this book, like, something with the gender was going to be different. I knew it wasn't going to be like two just like bisexual like cisgender men, but I didn't know exactly how this was going to go. And then I started reading it and it all made sense so fast. I love how Casey wrote Theo, the non-binary character, because you start the book from their perspective. You get to know them before you even like think about their gender. Like, you are reading from the perspective of just like this genderless person, and their name is Theo, but it becomes apparent from the beginning that they were born with the name Theodora, and so you start to question it a little bit, but like it just doesn't matter because like you just fall in love with Theo, and like Theo is just Theo outside of gender. And I loved the way that Casey wrote that because I've never read anything like that before, and I just loved those like quotes on like being non-binary because that's not something that I can understand. So I just imagine Casey just writing so much of their own experience into Theo, and I can't imagine how that felt for them to be able to do that, and I think they did it so well. Oh my gosh. And Theo has my heart, okay? The just chaos that they bring, but also the just utter heartbreak. I want to wrap them up in a warm blanket and give them a hug, but I also could understand so much of what they're feeling because they just want to have a place in the world, and that's like what we all want, and they're just a little bit more messy about it and struggle a little bit more, and oh my gosh, I loved them so much. And then something I wasn't expecting, because I don't think, because Red, White, and Royal Blue takes place from Alex's perspective and One Last Stop from August. I was expecting single POV, but no, halfway through we switched to Kit. And it's not even like a back and forth. It's like you get Theo's side of everything for a bit, and then you get Kit's. And I loved the way that they did that, and it felt so them for them to do that. Like, this is Casey McQuiston. Like, I just don't know if I could ever see them doing a dual POV, but like they made 2 books out of this basically doing that, and oh my gosh, I loved that. I loved Kit. Kit was the biggest simp ever. It is so funny because like from Theo's perspective, Kit comes across like all like cool, calm, and collected, and just like very sure of himself and sexy and confident. And you get to Kit's perspective and he's just like Theo like it is so apparent right from the beginning that like they never fell out of love with each other. And I feel like second chance romances can be so hard to do right, but oh my gosh, did Casey do this right. My entire heart was like put into reading this book. I cannot express to you how much I loved this book. I literally can. And also, the way that Casey writes is just so beautiful and so exquisite. Okay, no, because like you have these like most beautiful lines about art and food and culture, and then you have like the most unhinged lines that just feel so real. Like, yeah, that's something that you would say to your best friend. This book is not like other books. It's not like other romances, okay? I literally can't. The question of this vlog is, would I recommend you this book? And that answer is yes, okay? However, there of course are some caveats, that word, about this, okay? Because this book definitely isn't for everybody. I do think if you read and loved Red, White, and Royal Blue, you'd probably like this. They have a very Alex and Henry dynamic, I think. Not saying that they're a direct copy of Alex and Henry, okay? Theo and Kit are very much their own people. Oh my gosh, okay, don't get me started on that again. But it's just like the way they're in love, you know? And it's not even their love stories, it's just the way that they love each other and talk to each other, and the way that these scenes are described, and the way that Casey ties this into culture and like just like loving a culture. Like, I think that is very apparent in Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I think it is very apparent here in different ways though, because like in Red, White, and Royal Blue you see a lot more on politics, and this is more food and drink and travel. So it is different, but I do think that it has those just like romantic, just that love that Alex and Henry have is like very apparent in this book. So I think if you really like that, then you would really like this book. If you're looking for a queer book with a great non-binary character, this. If you're looking for horny bisexuals, this. Childhood best friends to lovers to exes to lovers again, this. If you love food, this. I definitely recommend this book if you are basically anything like me. If basically anything that I've just said doesn't sound appealing to you, maybe don't read it, but if anything I said sounds like something you'd be interested in, give it a try. I love this book, and I've seen mixed reviews about this book, okay, and that blows my mind just because I absolutely adored every page of this book. I loved this book so much, I could not put it down. I ate everything up, and oh my gosh, I think as of right now, this is coming out as my top read of the year so far. This is on top. I fear I'm never gonna love anything like I love Casey McQuiston's books. I still haven't read Shara Wheeler yet. To be fair, I'm waiting on Elsa because she is currently annotating it for my birthday in a couple of months, and so I can't read it until she finishes reading that and gets it to me. So, okay, it's time to move on to the final book of this reading vlog. Now, there's a reason that I didn't like state verbally at the beginning of my video what I was going to be reading in this video. Also, I'm moving my camera down because it's starting to annoy me. But that is because I knew that it would change, okay? The original plan was for me to read an arc, throw an arc in here. Then I thought maybe I could read a mystery book and do The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I just had to look at it because I can never remember titles. But I think next I'm going to read Silver Elite by someone. So this has a little bit of backstory. I was with my family this weekend, and that means I was with my amazing sister-in-law, who I adore because we just talk about books nonstop, and she said that she just read Silver Elite. She actually had been texting me about this and how much she had hated this book. now she wants me to read this book and to basically just hate read it for her. Now, why am I doing this to myself, you ask? I think that this is going to be an interesting experiment because obviously I just read my favorite book of the year. And I feel like it is so easy to get into reading slumps after that. Like, I kid you not, one year I had reread Red, White, and Royal Blue, my favorite book of all time, and I got into like a month-long reading slump and depressive episode because I was convinced that no other book would live up to that, okay? I am known to get into reading slumps after 5-star reads. So I feel like reading a book that I know I'm probably not going to like after reading that might help. Because I know it's not going to be show-stopping, okay? I know that there are so many mixed reviews. What do you mean it's a 4.07? I literally heard so many bad things about this book. This is people's favorite book of the year. Oh, this is going to be fun. Because I feel like I know I'm not going to like it. First of all, it's a romance dystopian. It feels a little off, like, but okay. And I know for a fact that the line, "I've been a bad boy," is in it. So there's that. So I think this is gonna be interesting, okay? If I hate it, I won't recommend it. But what if I like it? Because then that's a whole other interesting thing. My sister-in-law hated this book, and we typically have the same taste. So this is gonna be fun. Silver Elite is blowing up right now, but in case you don't know anything about it, I will read the Goodreads synopsis for you real quick. Psychic gifts are a death sentence, and there are rules to survival. Trust no one, lie to everyone, and whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. Naturally. Ren Darlington has spent her whole life in hiding, honing her psychic abilities and aiding the rebel uprising in small ways. On the continent, being modified means certain death, and Ren is one of the most powerful mods in existence. When one careless mistake places her in the hands of her enemy, and she's forced to join their most elite training program, she's finally handed the perfect opportunity to strike a devastating blow from the inside of their ranks. But training for Silver Block can be deadly, especially when you're harboring dangerous secrets and living in close quarters with everyone who wants you dead. As the stakes grow even higher, Ren must prove herself to the Silver Block. But that's easier said than done when your commanding officer is ruthless and an infuriatingly irresistible Cross Redden, who doesn't miss anything when it comes to her. And as war rages between mods like her and those who aim to destroy them, Ren must decide how far she's willing to go to protect herself and how much of the continent is worth saving. That actually sounds like something I could get behind. However, I feel like the whole falling in love with somebody who's like hunting you and actively wants you dead trope is being way overused, and I think we need to consider other less toxic things, okay? However, we're gonna give this a try. So I would read this on my Kindle, except my Kindle account is different than my sister-in-law who has bought this book on Kindle, because like that's the email that I use for all my ARCs and my official reader things. But I do have a login to our shared family Amazon account where Silver Elite currently lies. Technically, I can log out of my account on Kindle to log in to our family account, but I'm worried that because my ARCs are all like PDFs that they're gonna do something weird and like erase them, and I'm way too far past on NetGalley to re-download them. So I'm gonna read this one on my iPad or my phone, depending on where I am, because like I'm on the bus, I'll read on my phone, but like if I'm literally anywhere else, I will read on my iPad. So we are gonna get this all set up and we are going to do some reading. This is also like a 500-page book. Megan, what are you getting me into? Also, the names are really cool though. I forgot them already, but like Ren, ? Ren and Cross, dope. Those are cool names. I will admit that. So they already have a point for me, because there's nothing I hate more than stupid names. Here we are, guys. I'm actually going to change the settings because I don't like dark mode. That is better. We're happy. I don't know for sure if I'm going to start this tonight or tomorrow, but I will probably not update you guys, let's be real here, but I'll start it at some point, and then as we go, I will update you. How's that sound? I think that sounds good. Been talking for a long time, so we're gonna go. The birds are very active today, so if you hear chirping, it's not me, it's the birds. I thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update on Silver Elite. I'm about 14% in, not very far, but let me tell you, every time I pick up that book, I start falling asleep. I am so bored reading this, and you know, maybe it is just because I'm tired and I'm working, but I feel like it's just kind of boring. And I was talking to my coworker because I actually got him to start reading it with me, so we're kind of like hate reading it together. And even he was like, I am so bored, and he was like one chapter in. So this is gonna be a really interesting experience. It just feels like the author is just like throwing out dystopian terms. And like, I don't know, it feels like she's like, well, if you know, you know, like these people know about this, but like you don't really know yet. And I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to do that. And it's just really frustrating because she's just saying stuff and I'm like trying to follow along. I don't fully understand the world and these people with power because they call them like modified people. And when you say that to me, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they're like genetically enhanced, maybe they're like born normal and like the government had tested on them, but no, they just happen to be born with telepathy. But no, they're just like born that way and the government hates them. Because like, if that makes sense, like I see what the author's trying to do with like the messaging here, but she's also making it very obvious like with what she's saying. Like the main character was like, well, even the last government was run by modified and they tried to take out all the normal people, so like no government's ever perfect, and like there's always a group of people that's like, yeah. And I'm like, you just like directly said that, and like cool, I guess, but like I feel like it's very much going to be a dystopian where she just like tells you what she's trying to do and then like, oh, here's the romance. Let's focus more on the romance. And I feel like in a dystopian book, that's not the best way to do it. That might just be a me thing. I don't know. I feel like dystopians are inherently political. And so I think if you're going to do a dystopian, you need to do it right. And I don't feel like this is gonna be done right. But yeah, and I feel like the main character is gonna be a little insufferable. She just seems like she knows everything and she's the best, and she's like so nonchalant about it. She's like, yeah, I just did that. And like I forget that not everybody else is as good as me. And I'm like, okay, so it's fine. And the way she like joins the command whatever is really bad too, because they're just like show up when they're like, okay, you're joining, and she's like, guess I'm joining. And I'm like, that made absolutely no sense how that happened. So I'm suffering a little right now, but I'm going to go read some more before I go to work and hopefully read as much as I can on my lunch and after work, and let's see how much I can get done today, because I'm kind of hoping I can get a lot done today. So yeah, that's my update for right now. Not going so great, but we're doing it. So yeah, I hope your current read is going better than mine. She's getting like triggered by a motorcycle right now. Cause she's like, I can leave. Is this a trap? Why would they leave a motorcycle here? I'm like, calm down. Now she's in a motorcycle chase. And it's like her pursuer. I'm like, when did he start pursuing her?
Yeah, what?
He never said. How are they talking to each other over the rumble of motorcycles too? Of course it's Cross chasing her on the motorcycle. Like, he's the pursuer, naturally. And he's like, stop, damn it, Cross growls. How are you hearing that over like 2 motorcycles?
Yeah.
And he's like, pull over, and she's like, not right now, I'm busy. He calls her Dove, too. And it's not even, like... Okay, so you know how, like, in Carval, right? How he calls her Crimson? Yeah, he calls Scarlet Crimson. And it's, like, funny and cute. She's always like, that's not my name. But, like, he calls her Dove instead of Ren. And she's not even like, that's not my name, stop calling me that. It's just stupid. There's no acknowledgement of it. Don't know why he's calling her that. Like, she really just wanted to throw in a nickname in there. She's like, he'll call her Dove.
Yeah. Ren's a cute name also.
Ren's a really cute name. Hi besties, I'm here to finish off the vlog and give you my final thoughts for Silver Elite. This has been such a very entertaining journey. So as you might have seen in my last couple of clips, I actually went on a road trip with my best friend, and so I ended up finishing Silver Elite in the car. No, not in the car. It was at her house. I ended up finishing Silver Elite at our destination, so I wasn't able to film right away. So now that we're back and I have finished the book, I thought I would give you guys my thoughts and full review and let you know if I would recommend this book. So I feel like I've been very vocal about my opinions on Silver Elite thus far. In the end, I ended up rating it 1.5 stars. Yeah, that's not a good rating. In case you can't tell, that 0.5 star too is just for one singular character, and that is Cain. He's a king, I'm in love with him, and the main character had more chemistry with him than she did with the main male character, who was like a brick wall. I do want to do a video diving into Silver Elite with my sister-in-law. So I'm not going to go into too much depth right now just because I want to save the anticipation of my thoughts and the whole hatred of this book for that video with her. So I don't know when that will ever happen, but keep an eye out, I guess. But this book really did suck. The two main characters had no chemistry. The characters we had, like, okay, it felt like the author didn't know how to write people, or maybe she just has never had a conversation with a human being in her life. So the dialogue was really bad, the characterization was really underdeveloped, the pacing was really weird. Like I said, there was no chemistry between people who needed chemistry. There were a couple of surprises, I will say that. She does get points, but this book is so bad. I don't recommend this, honestly. Honestly, if you're looking for a book to hate read this one. It was a really fun hate read for me, which is kind of my point going into it. Like, I knew it was gonna be kind of like this. I just didn't know it would be this bad. I know I've seen a lot of mixed reviews, so I'm glad that I read it just so I can know my side of it. But yeah, if you're looking for like a really good dystopian, like you're wanting to relive your Divergent days, don't pick this up. Stay away. Go find something better. I don't know what would be for you, but you can do better than this book. You 100% can, and you should do better than this book. And like I said, I will continue my thoughts in a future video, but yeah, for the goal of this reading vlog, I do not recommend this book. That's it. Yeah, so I read a total of 3 books in this vlog. That was Legends and Lattes, The Pairing, and Silver Elite. 3 honestly pretty popular books, and I do recommend 2 of them. One of them ended up being a 5-star read for me, and then one of them I wouldn't recommend going near with like a 10-foot pole. So I feel like that's pretty good. Let me know if you guys want me to kind of continue this as a vlog series, if you want me to read more popular books or maybe even like unpopular books, and let you guys know if I would recommend them or not. I would love to do that. That sounds like a fun plot to a vlog. That's not correct, but that's what we're gonna go with for today. But this has brought us to the end of today's reading vlog. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe below. I will see you guys all next week. Bye.